Hello and welcome to another edition of the Monday Scrum. Benji and Reedy are here. There's plenty to get through from the weekend, but let's first point out, which Reedy has told us about 10 times already, he's coming 12th out of 35,000 people.
35,000
in the tipping comp.
1,000. That's amazing, isn't it?
As you told me 10 times outside.
And I have a tradition of coming near last. So this is
Reedy, it's
unbelievable.
round 3.
Is that off the back of picking the home teams or no?
No. Benji,
So you haven't forgotten to put your tips in?
What's hurt me in recent years is I back the Broncos every week because I'm a Broncos fan. Went to their first ever game. So they've won a couple of games this year.
Did you back them this weekend?
Yes, I did, yeah. It was one of only
Silly.
3 I got wrong. Silly, you've got to be loyal,
Yeah,
Benj.
no, I backed them too.
Yeah, you'd take the Tigers every... Actually, how many clubs have you had?
Yeah.
You'd find it very difficult,
bloke.
wouldn't you?
4 more clubs than you.
We'll keep an eye on you because I'm sure you'll be slipping further down. So that was a hot topic of conversation outside. So too, in the last hour, drama at the Oscars. Will Smith has absolutely gone off at Chris Rock, who made a joke about Will Smith's wife, gets up on stage, slaps him straight across the face and starts abusing him. What did you think?
When I got this text, I thought
it was a joke.
I thought here's a big story at the Gold Coast, Will Smith. That's a good story. What's this? Then I saw it was I couldn't believe it.
It looked like he punched him.
It did.
It was crazy. And then just goes and sits down.
Was it?
He took it well, though, Chris Rock.
No, he's like, Will Smith punched the shit out of me.
Are you okay with
Smith,
that?
He was defending his wife. I mean, that's
Would
fair
you do
enough.
that for Kylie?
Well,
Yeah. No, I wouldn't.
yes, I would, Kylie. If you're listening.
I wouldn't do that. You know why I am? Because I've thrown a few in my time and I'm a lover, not
You
a
can
fighter.
throw him right, can't you, Ben?
Yeah, well, I gave
Back in the
Piercy
days.
a hiding one day.
Yeah.
Back in the days, I got in a bit of a fight. Again, we're playing the Roosters in a big game, semi. And it was Piercy, and I thought, I reckon I can get Piercy here. So I threw a couple, and Gareth Ellis actually scored in the left corner. And they brought the ball back, and the try got disallowed. But I won the fight, but we lost the game. By one try.
Is this the Braith?
Yeah.
That
was the one.
I hate watching that. Anyway.
Want to know?
Loyal
Want to know?
Tigers
Retired,
fan.
undefeated, Ben.
Speaking of punch-ups, what about the one from back in the day at the Tigers? Was it Keithy Galloway and Bryce Gibbs?
Look, if I told about every punch-up that was at the Tigers back in the days, we'd be here all day. You know, Robbie Farah, Bo Ryan, Tim Moulton, all those blokes just couldn't handle the heat. But the best one I did see was Keith Galloway and Bryce Gibbs. And Bryce was quite feisty, and they used to run into each other 100 miles an hour. And Bryce would run with his elbows up. And one time he clipped Keith, and he got up and shaped up to him, and Keithy just put one straight on his chin. Like, it was hard, like full punches. So the boys separated him, and then Gibbs is like, meet me in the car park, Keith. So they go to the car park, and Gibbs gets in his car and does a burnout and takes off and just goes home.
But they'd be fine the next day, right?
Oh, then they turned up to training the next day, and then it was
Yeah.
Farah and Bo Ryan having a fight. That's just what happens, mate.
Who'd you get in fights with at training?
Oh, look, everyone, especially the hookers.
Little blokes.
Robbie Farah's.
Oh, yeah.
No,
He'd love a stink, Rob.
you know
as
what?
we've seen the last few days.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. What about that, though?
Yeah.
What about that?
Mm.
What
Thoughts?
happened? Tell me what happened. You
Yeah.
know, you're in the media.
You've got the inside goss. Have you spoken to Robbie?
I haven't spoken to
No, I want to
Robbie.
hear your story.
Well, I mean, I was right. I was on the sideline
Yeah.
doing the game for Triple M, obviously, and I would have been literally 3 or 4 metres from Robbie, and I didn't make anything of it. I just thought he looked as it looked as though there was some confusion around the interchange or something on the sidelines, and I never saw Robbie. You know, the talk is that he had a shot at Madge. I never saw Robbie look at the coach's box.
No, he wasn't.
I never heard Robbie say anything about
I spoke to him.
Madge.
He wasn't. I just wanted to hear what you say.
But you could see he was agitated and angry. Like there was a lot of agitation.
No, well,
on
the
sideline
players
'cause
were
there was
trying to.
confusion.
The players were trying to say to him, "Who's making the change?" And he was just passing on a message, and that player didn't want to get off.
Yeah.
So he was just saying he told me to do it. You know, so he wasn't throwing any shade at the coach.
But you often see that on the sideline when they're
but
they're
Joe
trying to
Blow
madly work out-
emailed it in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I didn't make anything of it. I just thought it was just a run-of-the-mill thing
Oh,
on the
so-
sideline.
So
during the
usually when
game.
you do a story, you have to check your sources, right?
Yes.
No,
So-
Reedy doesn't.
Yeah. This bloke's emailed in. He's a fan. Where's the source? You know what I mean?
Sometimes the fans see stuff, though, Bench. Sometimes they
Yeah, I
hear
know,
stuff
but
and
you
see
can't
stuff.
run that without knowing the story.
I think
You
they
like,
did
look-
go to Robbie, though, to be fair.
Yeah, Robbie denied it.
Yeah.
And it's not even a story.
Yeah.
But you make it a story.
Well, I did.
You
make it a
journos.
story. Us journos. Oh,
Punishers.
you're
What
tarring
did
us
you
all.
make of the Tigers in that performance?
Oh.
Another loss?
Yeah, look, if I'm being honest, I thought they played better than the last week. If there was anything that was disappointing, it was the last 10 minutes because The other team had 12 men. You know, it's the most opportune time to score, and they needed to try to win the game. And I thought, like, where they're at is the last kick that Luke put in for Dane Laurie was an unbelievable kick. And Dane Laurie catches those like 9 times out of 10, you know, and that's just where they're at the moment. The confidence is low. That one would have hurt, you know, obviously at home, playing in front of their home crowd. And I could feel myself feeling frustrated for the players. It's hard. It's tough times at the moment.
Well, the worst 10 minutes was the last 10 minutes when they had one man superior. The Warriors had Montoya.
I just said that. You mustn't listen.
I did hear that, yeah. I did listen to you, Benj. I listened to hang up every word you say.
Can you provide something different?
Well, I don't understand how that happens. Is that a lack of leadership? Or, how does that happen in your final 10 minutes? Well, you've got an extra man.
They had 4 drop balls.
Yeah.
Right. And you don't want to have 4 drop balls in a half, let alone the last 10 minutes. And when you're playing against 12 men, you need to finish your sets. And they look like a team that was trying to score. And the mindset should be patience and waiting for the right time to try and score, you know. But I'm not going to jump on everyone else's bandwagon and bag them because you're doing that enough.
Well, the game should have been out of reach, really. I mean,
what about the not sending the possible Luciano Leilua try to the bunker?
Didn't they come out and say they were wrong?
They admitted it.
They didn't say it was necessarily a try. They should have sent it up to the video referee, right? And what would have happened, I suspect, is Ziggy, the referee, would have given it no try, sent it up, and then it has to be overwhelming, compelling evidence to reverse that. And I don't know that there was. I mean, I still don't know whether it's a try. I think it's a try.
Well, it depends who you support.
Well,
if you support the Warriors,
neither. I'm
no
down
try.
the middle bench.
So what was it?
Journo. Well, I don't know. I can't make a decision on it.
Yeah, I think you're trying to get Madge axed.
Oh, turn it up,
Madge.
No, just from your comments recently and all the articles you've written about him.
I love Madge.
Do you?
I think he's a great. I tell you, this is the thing people don't understand. I think Madge is an outstanding coach, a great coach.
He is.
I think he's at the wrong club. That's the problem for me. If Madge goes to a different club, I think he has success because I think he's a really good coach. And I still think he's capable of landing somewhere and winning a comp. I just don't think it's going to happen at this club. I don't think it's the right club for him.
Why?
I don't know. It's not working. It hasn't worked. It's been over 3 years now. It's not working. It's not getting better. It's getting worse.
Sometimes you have that though, you know. Like, I mean, even as a player, you play good at some clubs under some coaches, and some coaches you don't. Like that happens. But like, look at some of the other coaches. Like, Des changed clubs, didn't work at Bulldogs, back to Manly. It's worked there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know where to sit on this one because, you know, when you're in a team and you're a part of a club, you want to work together to get out of it. So you don't want to say he should go or they should go. Like, it's impossible. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's interesting for Madge now, right? He had a go at me before the game because it's something I said on 360 last week where I said if they lose this game, they're 0-3. The next 4 games are really tough. They could be 0-7. And he wasn't happy though. And I said, look, then his position becomes untenable. If you're 0-7, you know, the coach, it becomes almost impossible.
Well, it doesn't matter who you are. At 0-7, you're under pressure. No matter.
Look at last year. Manly were 0-4, and they were talking about
Desi was hammered last year at that point.
Yeah. So, I mean, he wasn't happy that I said that. He said it puts pressure on people, not even just him, others in the organisation. I imagine his family. But, you know, now they are 0-3. And they got Cronulla, I think, this week. Is that right, Cronulla?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's Cronulla.
Have you done the
Sunday,
research?
4 p.m, I believe, at PointsBet Stadium.
Done my research. See, I'm right.
You want me to check?
I'll tip the Sharks.
I think it's Sunday.
That'll be another winner for me. I'm on fire.
Oh, no,
Titans,
sorry, it's the following week. Yeah.
It's Titans, sorry, you're right.
It's
on the
Titans,
Gold Coast,
yes.
though, right? They're away to the Gold
Following
Coast.
week, they're Sharkies.
Away to the Gold Coast. So Charlie saved us there. So, then you get to 0-7, which is it's entirely possible.
Well, hang on. They got to get to
0-7.
0-4 first. Don't jump the gun.
What are you?
You're jumping to 0-7 now. What if they win this week?
Okay, they might be 4-3.
They could be 0-24. That's worst case. You know what I mean? It's easy to say.
Anyway, he wasn't happy, and they don't look as though they're close to winning a football game. That game they should have won.
No, I think they were closer. I think they looked closer to winning a game.
Only because they're up against a really ordinary side.
Well, I don't know. I thought they played all right too, the Warriors, better than they've played the last few weeks.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway.
But that's just me. I've only played 300-something games, but yeah, you go.
I played 5 in the NSL bench and
whatever.
2 cup games, 1 goal, baby.
Whatever. All right. We'll have to watch this space, and Reedy will. If it's not Madge, it'll be someone else you try and knife soon.
No, he does that.
We'll move on to Manly. They got the win over the Doggies, 13-12. DCE coming up with the field goal. I loved Jake Trbojevic, that
What
interview.
about the interview?
I didn't see
Yeah,
it.
you wouldn't have.
done your research again.
It was pretty good.
It was on your company as
I
well.
was at the game, so I didn't
We'll go
see-
back and but do some research for this
Sorry,
show.
yeah, sorry. Well, I didn't know we were talking about an interview that I haven't seen. But anyway, go on.
So we're talking about Manly.
Take me through it.
He said it's just so relieving to get a win because under Desi losing is not fun, and hopefully he stops getting cold sores from the stress.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
I think he called it a coleslaws. Anyway, hope I stop getting coleslaws.
Does that? I mean, a win is a win.
Oh,
but
yeah. Well,
Was
it's
that
been
they're still
building.
far from? They're not at their best.
I spoke to Daly during the week, and you could see that how much, what's the word I'm looking for? Not pressure so much. 'cause
Weight.
I don't think, it's the weight. Yeah, you're right, Benj. The weight. Who's the, who's the,
You're not putting your weight in
expectations.
this podcast. I'll tell
but the
you.
weight of expectation, and you
see
can
it,
see how
you
it was
can-
building
yeah,
on them. And,
You can see it.
and look, it wasn't a great performance. I think they made 9 errors in the first half. They were pretty ordinary.
I'm going to take another route on this one.
Oh, what are you going with?
I thought the Bulldogs were pretty
They were good.
outstanding.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, and I think because it is the Bulldogs, people go, they should have won easy. I actually thought the Bulldogs should have won last night, if I was being completely honest. I thought they played way better. If Wakeham didn't go off for the HIA, I think they're a big chance. I thought he was great replacement, Wakeham, but I just don't think the Bulldogs are getting enough credit for how great they're playing. You know,
They're playing with a lot of resilience, Ben.
Well, they are.
which hasn't been there in the last couple of years.
Yep, and like they would have lost that game last night by 30 in the last couple of years, but they just keep turning up. You know, something's definitely changed there.
Yeah.
I think it's positive for them, and like Jakey said in his interview, like sometimes you just got to be happy to get the 2 points, especially at this part of the season, because it could have went the other way.
Well,
Yeah.
the Dogs could be 3-0, really, if you think about it. I mean, they could have won all 3 games they've played. So they got a trip to Melbourne this week, though. So that's not easy.
We're up against your mob.
I don't
On
know.
your bestie,
Hey, mate,
Bellamy.
they're struggling.
But
You-
Melbourne,
Yeah, you reckon?
I don't know if they're struggling, Benj.
I wanted to hear you say it.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Say it.
never.
We'll clip it up and send it to Bellamy.
They're just,
Frankie.
I don't know, they just don't seem the same at the moment, maybe because they're missing a few players.
Yeah.
But, even on the weekend, I thought that was sort of games that they used to winning.
That's a fair call. You would in the past they would have won those games. Gee, that was a great play by Ray Stone, though, wasn't it?
Well,
he was the only bloke who didn't give up on that.
I'm
ball.
going to talk about it on my show tonight. But like that Roy Simmons used to always say, like even when people kick for penalty goals, he'd always chase and just the hope that one came off the post and he'll get it and score the try. Well, Ray Stone lived it.
Yeah.
You know, no players ever chase those. Usually, I've done it. Someone kicks it, you just watch the ball and you just go, oh no. But Ray moved and he kept moving like to the actual ball to the point where he won the game for his team.
Well, he was the only bloke. He was the only one
and,
Parramatta player who actually
and now he's out for the
and
season.
his
It's
knee.
so
Yeah.
sad.
It is,
Yeah.
man.
But
'Cause
on Manly,
I love the way
back
he
to
played.
Manly.
Yeah, sorry.
Because we were talking about Manly, right?
I don't
was
know.
a-
Is this your show?
that was a
Whatever you
gr-
want to talk about.
Okay.
Don't you think it was a great night of footy? You know, the new stand
love the
open
new stand.
and the ground.
The field looked mad.
Yeah.
Usually it's like the grass is pretty long and you get stuck in the mud a bit, but it looked mad.
Well, they spent, I think, $2 million on that surface. They dug a few metres down and ripped it up and relayed everything. And they said before that game it'd be the best surface in the NRL. And on what I saw last night, that they're not far off.
Who's
The
paying
be-
you
yeah,
to say that?
Exactly.
Who's paying you to say
the
that?
best.
The best in the NRL.
Well, you don't think it's the best? It was a
How
fantastic
do I know I
surface.
wasn't there?
It's state of the art,
Oh, mate.
cutting edge. It's
Come
cutting
on.
edge stuff.
Someone's
Manly.
paying you for the...
He will
Mate, they
dead
dug it
set
that
back
deep. What a
whoever
story.
pays him.
I love the Northern
Just the
Beaches.
agenda
God's
written
country.
all across your face, Reedy.
Yeah.
All
Hello.
across your face.
Anyway, it was a fantastic
Well,
night.
Anyway, one of your colleagues, the great Buzz Rothfield,
Oh, Buzz.
he's put a line through the Roosters
Wow.
after just one win for the season. So they went down to the Bunnies, obviously, on Friday night. Are you with him? Is it too early to put a line through them? He's
That
saying
was
they're
a heavy sigh.
Well, I've got to say, before the season began, when we put our tips in with the put in the paper who we thought would win the comp and stuff, I was going to put the Roosters, and then I had
to win the comp.
and then I had to think about it, and I think they're a year or two away for me. I don't think they're ready, and I think I think that I've got concerns over their halves. I think Luke, they're great players. Don't get me wrong.
What did you say out there?
I said Sam Walker defensively has got a few
Yeah,
problems.
but they're not paying him to do that.
Yeah.
It-
Mate,
That's what
he's
you don't
still young.
understand,
It's
mate.
his
I made a
second year at
living
first
out of
grade.
missing
I
tackles.
think he's
relax.
going to be a great footballer, Sam Walker, but I think I don't think he's quite there yet. He's not the finished
Yeah,
article.
but what do you want him to be? How many games has he played? This is what I hate about you blokes. You have all these expectations on all these kids to be like Jonathan Thurston
Well,
after their 10th
I'm
game.
tempering the
You're
expectation
not.
on him, Ben.
You're
I am.
not. You're saying all the negative
I'm
things
saying he's
about him
gonna
when
be
he
a
hasn't
great-
learned how
I
to
think
play
He's
it.
going to be a great player.
When?
But maybe in a year's time.
Nah, you're just bagging him. That's pure
It's
bagging.
unbelievable. It's not.
Mate,
No.
he can't
said he's
tackle.
gonna be a
Okay,
great
mate. A lot
player.
of players can't tackle. That's not what they
You're
get
saying
paid
he
to
can't
do.
tackle?
I can't. You said that.
I didn't say he couldn't tackle. So I've got a
Anyway,
few
be honest, how
concerns.
many-
Answer the question.
What's the question?
So
Do you
is it-
agree with
Do you
Buzz?
agree with Buzz?
I don't
That
think
is
they
what-
can win the comp. No.
So
I don't
you agree
think-
with Buzz?
Yeah.
Well, he pays you. Of course you're going to say that.
I think Melbourne are ahead of them. I think Paris probably ahead of them. I think Penrith ahead of them.
Mm.
I'm lying ball on South. I'm not sure.
I don't care. Say what you want.
But even if they're not going to win the comp,
Yeah.
I mean, do you think they'll still be there and about? They've still got players.
Oh,
that
I
have
think they're a
won it.
massive chance. I think Reedy's off his
Yeah.
head. Honestly, he's
They
been
got
having a
players
few
that have
bongs.
won
I don't know what's
comps.
going on.
And
I had them in my top
Mate,
four.
Have a
got
look
them in
at
my
their
top
team.
four.
They still got enough quality there.
so
if
Buzz
anything,
had
they're
a
lacking
crack
a few leaders. That's about it
Well,
at the
they've
moment.
Well,
lost
that's important. Come finals
Boy,
time.
Jake Friend, the Morris twins, Mitch Orbison.
But there's a few
Um,
stepping up that can
yeah.
do that role. I actually think they're a massive chance still. But that's okay. You disagree with your boss. I agree with mine.
Oh, they'll be better when Verrills comes back. They need a hooker. There's no doubt about that. They need a hooker.
Yep.
And I just think there's some sides ahead of them at the moment.
Okay.
But I did have them in the top four. Pretty sure I had them. Might have had them.
Mate,
fifth.
I don't think you know
top
anything
four.
you're talking
I
about.
think they're a chance,
No.
but I
Alright.
don't think they'll
Lucky
win
I
it.
bought you another coffee.
Yeah, no, thanks, Benj.
All right, we'll
It's
put you
at
on the
2-1.
spot again. It is time
Oh, no.
for your segment.
Reedy's Mail.
I feel battered and bruised. I feel like I've just been punched and
Well, you should be used to it now.
kicked. And anyway, story.
Oh, I don't care. Just give us some good mail.
So I got some bad news first up. Bit of some injury news. Jack Hetherington's the big one today.
Can you tell us the exact injury he has, please?
It's a bony
Bankart,
lesion
lesion.
of his glenoid.
And what is that?
He's basically
Shoulder.
got a shoulder issue. Yeah,
Popped out and popped back in?
He popped out, popped back in.
Dislocation, yeah.
Yeah, dislocation. He's out for the, but looks like he'll be out for the year. It's 4 to 12 months. It can vary in terms of the
4 to 12 months.
Well, that's what I saw.
Why didn't you just say 0 to 12?
I googled it. It said 4 to 12.
0 to 12 months out.
What are you?
I googled it.
Google physio.
Well, they've got to get in and do the surgery to work out how bad
Why
it
don't you
is.
make some
Jesus.
calls and actually find out from someone at the
Well,
dog?
Because he doesn't
bar?
have time. He's on every channel.
Anyway, he's out for a long time with that shoulder problem, Jack Hetherington. So that's bad news. And Cody Ramsey's out this week for the Dragons. He's got a hamstring problem. So a couple of the super coaches out there.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anything else?
Yes, I went to South today. Actually had a good chat with Jai Arrow, grand final rematch this week.
What a player.
Great player, Jai Arrow. It's interesting. They downplayed it all. You know, all the acrimony out of last year's grand final, all the drama. They all downplayed all that. But what they did say, both he and Mark Nichols, it's obviously Nathan Cleary's first game back this week after the shoulder surgery, and they said he can expect some heavy treatment. They're going to go after him.
Of course.
So we're coming to get
were
you.
we
They're coming to
expecting
get you,
them
Nathan.
to just let Nathan have an easy ride?
I love how you make stories. This is what journos do. You make stories out of these things that are obvious. He's got a dislocated shoulder he's coming back from. They're going to run at him.
They're going to go at him.
You wouldn't believe it. They're going to run people at him to make him tackle, to test it out. Oh, my God, that's shock. Mail. I got good mail.
Okay, last one. I'm over this.
Did they would have done that your whole career, surely, Benji, after
Oh, yeah.
your... How many ops did you
Right,
have?
5 Ricos,
Yeah.
but no one counted.
The blokes always come out the week before you came back and said, we're going after him. We're going to work him
What
out.
about
Yeah,
that?
okay.
There was that...
Let me tell you something quickly. Yeah, they did. And there was one time in the World Cup where they said they're going to bash Benji the night before. And you know how much, inside me that burnt?
How much?
Yeah, we won the next day.
Fair enough.
What if there was that Origin game? Remember when Thurston had his busted shoulder and Joey's blowing up in
Oh,
commentary saying, why aren't they running at Thurston? And they were barely targeting him.
Yeah.
Can't exactly remember the year, but
One of the great
it's one of
Queensland
the-
wins that night.
Oh,
Another
whatever.
one.
There we
Anyway,
go.
a bit of news on
Yep.
Nelson Sofa Solomon. He hasn't been charged. Well, he got charged with a grade 1
Thought he was very lucky.
over the weekend. Well, everyone thinks he's very lucky, and including the NRL, I believe they believe it should have been internally a more significant charge for him. There was an explanation given from the match review committee. The explanation was basically that he was falling, and that mitigated the contact and contributed to the contact.
He was
So,
falling.
Makatoa was falling. So because of that, that's why they only gave him the lowest
Well, fair
grade,
enough.
a grade 1 charge. But I don't think the NRL's overly happy about it. It's interesting, they made those rule changes in the off-season where Peter V'landys and Andrew Abdo can refer matters to the match review committee. But doesn't apply in this situation because the match review committee have already looked at it. So they can't send something back and say, have another look at it. We're not happy with our charge.
But that's okay. That's how you get inconsistency too, like by sending it back like that.
Mm.
I'm happy with it. Move on.
You're happy with it?
Yeah. I thought he was lucky. Bad
Yeah.
luck. They made the decision. Move on.
Okay. Anyway, some
Well,
Parramatta people aren't happy about it.
Yeah, of course.
Mm.
But they won. They should be.
Anyway, that's all.
Sometimes you just got to accept the win and
Are
move
you
on.
happy with the other ones from
I'm
the
scared-
weekend? You
I'm
happy with the Jaden Sewer getting a week?
I'm scared to say anything else because you two rip into me.
You should be.
Jaden Sewer, I thought a week's okay.
Okay.
I can handle
Just
it.
because it's sewer. You hate sewer too. You hate the Dragons.
Oh, who else do you hate?
I'm starting to hate Benji.
Yeah, good. That's what this is.
All right, that segment was okay. I have a feeling that this one is going to be better.
Benji Marshall. Benji Marshall. Oh, Benji Marshall. Marshall's Law.
Wow, look, where do I start, Em?
Yes.
I've got a couple of big things, I reckon, from the weekend. I thought Cameron Murray, number one player in the competition after that performance right now,
Best player in the game.
at the moment.
Okay.
Most influential. If he plays like that, Souths win more games.
Yep.
Like, seriously, I don't know if you guys watch it. Did you watch it, Reedy?
Yeah, I did,
'Cause,
yeah.
Well, he was outstanding.
Brilliant.
Through the middle, rough, tough. And the best part about it was at the end of the game, he did his press conference with 8 stitches in his ear
Yep.
and blood reaping down the side of his neck like he'd been stabbed.
And he apologised
I
for
know.
not cleaning himself up before he went
And
in.
he still looked hot.
Do you think he did?
Actually, I lied. I didn't watch that game at all.
Reedy, what's your
Are you
thoughts
serious?
on
I was driving back from Campbelltown.
what's your thoughts on Jeremiah Nanai?
I love that kid.
Mate, have the
What a
Cowboys
gun.
signed him yet?
No.
No.
Are
And
they
the-
still
The
trying?
Tigers are in for him, actually.
Are they?
Yeah, there's about 4 or 5
Well,
clubs
that's my
in for
next
him.
thing. So Jeremiah Nanai on the weekend, phenomenal. Like back rower, skills, runs hard, right foot step, offload. But he chased 2 kicks on the weekend that centers and wingers chase. And his ability to give them another string to their bow to score tries. I thought the Cowboys won that game off the back of a couple of his big efforts. And if I'm the Cowboys, whatever he wants, he's signed.
I should have done my mail on Nanai, shouldn't I? The
Should have.
latest with him.
What is the latest?
Well, they're trying to sign him. He said he wanted to play a few games, round 4, I think. So
Well, that's
after
this week.
I think he's going to sit down and make a decision. Actually, on him, Benji, he's interesting because he's a Kiwi kid.
Yeah.
But he's eligible for Queensland.
Yeah.
You should give him a call. Help Madge out.
Well, I
The
don't
bloke
really
that you're
like
trying to
putting.
get set
I don't
up.
like putting pressure on kids to make that decision. That's up to them. Wherever they feel like,
Yeah.
I've been there before. It's
He'd look good in a Kiwi jersey, though, wouldn't he?
oh yeah, I'd love to have him, but that's up to him.
And he came over before he was 13.
He did. He's
correct?
eligible for
Yeah.
Queensland, yeah. As a
He's
Queensland.
is he with Sammy
He's with
Ayub?
Sammy, yeah. As a Queenslander, I hope he commits to the Mighty Maroons. How good.
The last one I want to give was the NRLW rap.
It's been outstanding.
Honestly, phenomenal. I find myself tuning in and I just get glued to the TV watching the games. And I thought on the weekend, reminded me of Scott Sattler. Tonagato.
Or on
Did you
Jess
see a
Surgis.
tackle on Jess
I
Surgis?
No,
didn't
he
see
wouldn't
that,
have.
no.
Oh my God. Well, anyway, long story short, Jess Surgis, one of the most explosive, powerful athletes in the women's game, screaming down the sideline, makes this break. No one's stopping it. Tonagato comes from nowhere and Scott Sattler's her over
Yeah.
the sideline.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
I'll track
03-esque.
down the
Anyway,
highlights.
little rap to the NRLW. Going great, ladies. Love it.
Emma Tonagato, she's been
Oh,
one of the
revelation.
best every week, and she previously played league and she played with Rue in the World Cup, I think back in 2013. Went and played sevens, and she's a gun.
Really?
Yeah. Do yourself a favour. Tune in and have a look.
I've watched a bit of the
No, I'm
women's...
talking to everyone listening.
Oh, okay, sorry.
We've got the semi-finals this week, actually. So there's a double header at Leichhardt Oval.
Beauty.
So it's on 9 Fox, and you've got the Broncos. They've won it 3 years in a row. They're the minor premiers. They're taking on the Roosters. And then you've got the Titans taking on the
Dragons.
Dragons.
Okay.
He doesn't know. He doesn't watch.
No, I do. I've watched some games.
Who are you tipping?
Broncos, of course. What was the other game?
You're a tipper.
Titans.
I genuinely, I think the Dragons can push the Broncos.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
Sowie, coach. Anyway, I
Been
want to talk
good.
about your Broncos. What happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, up,
Yeah, what
up at
happened?
Suncorp.
The
Cowboys.
Cowboys were
It was
outstanding.
pretty ugly. I'll tell you what, I really like I thought the Cowboys were good in the pre-season. And they've got
You
some...
tipped them to come last.
No, I did not. I tipped the Tigers to come last.
You tipped them second last.
No, I think I had them ninth.
No, you're such a liar.
Toddy Payton's done a great job up there.
Mm.
He's been under immense pressure, Toddy, with the way his relationship with Jason Tomalolo
Yeah.
and all the talk around that.
Yeah.
And he always been, I know Toddy all right, not like you know him, Benj. He's a pretty determined bloke, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
pretty set in his,
Oh, yeah.
once he goes on a path, he's going to stay on that path, right?
Yeah, when you're a head coach, you got to back the way you coach, and you got to do it your way. Otherwise, if you do it someone else's way, you get the sack doing it that way. It's no good. You'd rather go out doing it how you do it, But I thought they were good. Last year, they were the worst defensive team in the comp, 748 points over the season. And in the last 3 games, 6, 6, and 12. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Keep it under 14. They're going pretty good.
What about Tommy Did and going back to the Broncos didn't want him, going back to Suncorp, he would have had a point to prove, and he and Chatty are looking pretty good together.
And that's a great reflection on Todd, because when Tommy Dearden went there, he was a wreck, basically. He'd lost all confidence in Brisbane, and Todd spent the off-season building his confidence back up and putting faith in him and convincing him that he could, be a good player again. And
listen to this carefully, Reedy.
Yeah.
Sometimes all you need is someone to believe in you for you to believe in yourself.
Just a cuddle.
That's why we don't want you.
But they got some great kids. We talked about Nanai.
Oh, yeah.
What about Lukey?
Yep.
Griffin Neem, the prop, outstanding. The hammer at the back.
Tuilagi.
Vel's killing it.
What about that Tuilagi tackle?
The hit. He came out of the line.
Oh, yeah, he smashed him.
Oh.
Smashed someone. And he did it to Matt Frawley the week before, I think.
Not as good as Valamay's one on Brimson.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
That hurt me.
I felt sorry for
That's why I don't play.
Yeah.
Would you be able to take one of those tackles?
Easy.
No, you
Easy.
wouldn't.
I'm rock hard, man. Come on.
That sounded so wrong.
I mean, physically.
You're rock hard. Triple M rocks the footy.
Anyway.
Mate, don't say that. That's wrong.
I think that's the time to end the show.
Let's go.
Let's go. Get me away from
We'll
this
see
bloke.
you next week on the Monday Scrum.